Introduction. From a young age, I knew my father was a broken man. What he preached was often different from the life he lived, which caused major conflicts in my spirit. There were many faces to him: the father, the husband, the pastor, and I lived intertwined and entangled in these different realities that were deceiving, manipulative, and self-serving. I saw the mask and the man behind it, the raw, naked truth and the hypocrisies that existed. I saw the differences between his real life and the one he portrayed in front of the congregation. Growing up, my father abused me, my mother, and my brothers. He meted out abuse from physical violence to spiritual and mental torment. While stationed in Germany, the physical violence escalated, and my father was leaving visible welts and bruises on our skin. I reported this abuse, and my younger brother and I were placed in a German foster home. My father convinced us he would change, and for a while he did. He stopped physically abusing us, but the mental, emotional, and spiritual abuse intensified. Pastor's abusive behavior was not just limited to his family. He also victimized members of the congregation. He would hit them with his cane, convince them to give money they did not have to give, and coerce them into financial obligations they could not fulfill. He would threaten hell on the members, yell at them in sermons, and even pray for harm to come to them when he didn't get his way. He would degrade female members by commenting on their weight, laughing about domestic violence situations, and glorifying his past life of controlling and pimping women. He would show up uninvited, unannounced, and unwanted to the homes of single female members under the guise of church business. My father even commented that one member could probably perform good oral sex because she didn't have front teeth. His behavior and words were perverted and vile and made people uncomfortable. Some took legal action against him because of fraudulent business deals and financial disputes. Some accused Pastor of stealing cars, dealing drugs, being a shady landlord, and having extramarital affairs. Of course, he disputed these allegations in front of the congregation, but his actions suggested there was some truth to them. Further, his denials proved disingenuous since he preached about these evil actions, appeared proud of them, and committed many of them against those same members. Then he would yell at us for not speaking against his accusers within the community. I spoke to my father many times about this toxic behavior, but he became more callous and more brazen. As a result, some of us left his church. Like many of you, I am enraged and exhausted by the influx of headlines depicting yet another spiritual leader's fall from grace. My heart aches for their victims. Victims like my siblings and me, like my mother. And victims like some of you who have served under these spiritually shallow evildoers. Everything my father touched and every person he interacted with is forever changed and scarred. That area of impact where people have been most devastated has sadly been in the church. I was not silent about my father's wrongdoing. In fact, I reported him for child abuse when I was just 13 years old. But speaking up for myself and others has often gotten me into trouble with him. I set boundaries, fought, and pushed back. I didn't enable my father's behavior, and I was not codependent. Being raised by a narcissistic pastor meant I had to bend over backward to fit his needs. As a child, it cost me the validation, safety, and the security I needed. As an adult, it cost me my family, health, and sanity. I became so beaten down that it severely compromised my health. My body began attacking itself, and I was losing all desire to fight. I felt like I was dying. I am angry. That's why I felt compelled to write this book, because anger was making me sick, draining the life out of me, and literally killing me. It was like a weed, sucking up every bit of goodness, a cancer, blackening every lively cell, ravaging, mutilating, and brutalizing every part of me, including my spirit. I began having unexplained illnesses, mental fogginess, extreme fatigue, debilitating sadness, and uncharacteristic emotional outbursts that shocked even me. It confused me. What's wrong with me, I thought. Nothing made sense. The dots weren't connecting and things didn't add up. So I embarked on this journey to improve my health and live my best life. A journey where I uncovered the root cause of my anger, broke free of those who triggered it, and processed the effects it all had on my mind, body, and spirit. Anger cannot live in the same space as peace, and my quest for it was constantly being roadblocked. Yet it wasn't until anger started eating me alive that I knew I had to do something different. I had to let go of it. At least that's what Pastor conditioned me to believe. But I knew my anger was valid, justified, and dare I say it, righteous. I am a nationally certified counselor. However, I am not telling my story from a clinical perspective. Further, I am not trying to diagnose anyone discussed in this book. My clinical training has been a powerful tool in understanding my life as the daughter of a narcissistic pastor and working through the healing process. I tell my story as a daughter, a believer, and a victor. I tell my story as someone recovering from narcissistic abuse and learning to love herself. I don't have all the answers, but honestly, I'm not sure the answers are what's needed right now. Instead, I'll focus on putting it all on paper. I must warn you, this book contains transcriptions of my father's own words, offensive language, and recounts of abuse that some readers may find triggering. I encourage you to take breaks, practice calming breathing techniques, and continue reading as tolerated. Further, I encourage sufferers of abuse and neglect to contact law enforcement and seek help from medical and mental health professionals. So take a break. Take a breath. Take it in small chunks, but don't silence me. Hear my voice. Feel my heart and take a journey through my mind as I process this complex childhood trauma. Predictably, things will worsen before they get better. But my father's prayers for ill will to come to me and my family will not deter me. As the pastor's daughter, I offer a unique perspective, a vantage point different from others. I have witnessed pure evil, the inner workings of a man whose only God was himself and his money. I cannot move forward in my journey until I confront and expose the abuse, manipulation, and control that were making me sick. But where do I start? At the beginning, the root of the anger, the events and actions that cause my heart to break, my spirit to ache, and my soul to cry out. I pray my experiences enlighten and encourage all who read this book, and that God gives you the strength to do what is necessary to heal from narcissistic abuse. I believe that there are lessons in these challenging situations, that even negative things ultimately work out for our benefit. Just as I am doing the work to heal from the abuse I experienced, my father can too. This will anger him, but he too can find redemption from what I reveal within these pages. The choice is his, but I must expose this now so we can heal. As Dr. Ramani says, sometimes hurt people help people. So I invite you to take this journey with me, the journey of a truth teller, My name is Dolores, and I am the daughter of a narcissistic pastor. That's my reality, and this is my story. The Pastor's Daughter, Provoked, available now on audio, including exclusive audio recordings. Listen now on the Kingdom Code app, thekingdomcode.passion.io.